Okay. We've been calling this for a while, but Bitcoin's finally starting to make a huge move down, and there's no rejections happening at all. So I'm gonna take you through the setups I'm in, which I've been updating quite a bit already, as well as the setups we're looking for, potential reversal areas, and etc. etc. So let's get into it. Do I think the top is in? Absolutely not. Um, so either way, I like to trade in a way that's bi-directional. So I take longs while I'm short. I take shorts while I'm long at the same time, just because I'm working with different ideas. And so this is a short that I'm in on Bitcoin. Um, get rid of that. I'm no longer in this. But this is a short I'm in Bitcoin. It's printing heavily. I already took profits at this GP right here where we stalled, and price immediately just dumped right back down. So I'm waiting to take profits right here at the sweep of this low. I might do it here if the reaction is strong enough, but I'm gonna hold out for lower. I'll hold out for down here. Afterwards, I'm gonna leave a runner in case price comes to these much deeper targets, like this 350-day moving average that we have here. There she is. See that? You see my TP here at the 200-day moving average makes sense. It's coinciding with a lot of trending structures. Here's the major bull market trend that we have. Let me get this out of the way. And this is without even bringing the Elliott wave scenarios into play. This major trend line, and then this is for an even deeper retracement, but it lines up with these uh, support trend lines. Sorry, moving averages. My bad. So yeah, the long idea is to catch something just at this POC, really at the sweep of this low. But the POC of this range, it also aligns with the 786 of this range, and yeah, just the bottom of this parallel channel here as well. There's just a lot of trending confluence here uh, for a decent bounce to happen right around here. This can come today, it can come Friday. So limit orders are set. Got a and alerts are set as well. Speaking of which, we'll put one down just to be ready for it because it can come quick. And so let's take a look at another trade I've opened. I've ETH open the same thing. It's pretty much the same exact trade just on Ethereum. And I had a good feeling Ethereum would drop a lot deeper. I gotta thank Lucky for giving me some of this game because he really put me onto the idea of taking of ETH having more weakness, just simply due to this ETH versus BTC chart that I've shared before, which shows that ETH is stalling at resistance against Bitcoin. This is the ratio of Ethereum to Bitcoin, shows which one is outpacing the other one, and Ethereum was outpacing Bitcoin quite aggressively, and now it's meeting resistance. So it makes sense that it would, if it's going to see a pullback here as well as Bitcoin having a pullback, then it makes sense that Ethereum would drop much harder and much more aggressively than Bitcoin. So that's exactly what happened. So we took the short. It's making sense, and it's over 2,200% right now. It's a great position to be in. I'm very happy with it. So I've already taken profits at the GP once again. Well, really, it was yeah, maybe you can call it a GP. Right at the sweep of this major low, we got a bit of resistance there. You see how this candle wicked up. That's where I took profits just before, just as price crossed up above the level. And you know, just in case of more bullish scenarios where price just goes crazy. And now we're just sitting comfortably in this short here, waiting for my full profit target to hit, which is a sweep of this low down here. Let's talk about XRP. I took a short on XRP as well. Much bigger stop loss. The risk to reward is much smaller, but this one's up 500%. Looks good. And yeah, we're just waiting for a sweep of this low and take the profits right there, and that's it. I can't get too greedy with this thing. XRP is one of those tokens where like the support is held very strongly. Like it largely almost never breaks these trading ranges that are created because the bag holders, the long-term bag holders for XRP are just those guys. They really like to hold up the price. I mean, that was evident even in this like longer term structure. So don't I'm not gonna get greedy with XRP. Can't do it. Normally, I'd target a GP like a larger one, like this one right here, which makes sense because there's also a a local high, just a decent support range here, right? So price could totally just come down real quick and boop. If it was any other token, but this is XRP we're talking about, so I'm not gonna risk it. It's not worth it to get an extra few 100% on your trade just for that. So I'll be taking profits quite conservatively here, which will also hedge against these like quite deep profit targets that I have on Bitcoin and ETH, but they make sense. So I'm gonna keep on holding. Let's talk about the long ideas. So I already gave you this idea of the long that I'm taking on Bitcoin. There's a a nice convergence of moving averages here. Daily wave structures make sense, and I'll get into those later. So this is one I'm going to be taking. I'm already in one on Doge, which is currently underwater a little bit, but that's fine. It's coming into some trending structure here. So the idea with this one is that Doge is already working in this kind of like in this 1-2, right? You can say it's working into this much larger wave 3. And so after Doge broke this high right here, which I have marked out right there, once it broke the high right there, it makes it a little more complicated to count this, right? Because you can say, oh, maybe it's a right, because every wave 3 has an internal 5-wave move in it, right? Wave 3 can't be a diagonal. So how do you count this, right? And so previously we thought, oh, it's just a nice sharp ABC. Wrong. It's consolidated very with a lot of overlap, and so it's a very weird one. You can't call it a running flat because it never broke the high up here. So what is it right now? This looks like some sort of triangle structure. So perhaps, and it's a 3-wave move. So it's starting to look a little more like something like this. A little more like this. We call it there, like that, and like this. And this is actually a minuscule. And it's a sub-micro wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Best case scenario. So it's possible if Doge were to really just like crash straight down and sweep this low, that would be ideal to be able to call this something else. But for now, this is the only structure that really makes sense, because you have this 5-wave move up, 3-wave move down, and then you have this 3-wave move up, another 3-wave move down, and we'll see what happens on the way up. We have this sort of diagonal that's building up, and so trading towards that is pretty reasonable in my opinion. And maybe we get a larger pullback afterwards, but perhaps not. And so the idea is that if this were to come and sweep this low, like I mentioned earlier, then we can call it something else. You could say it's a flat variation correction, which is still very large. Like it's still a huge, large in time. So you have this 1 and then a big flat in the 2 like that, which would be some sort of like A, B, and then C like this. Something like that would be really cool, but you also have to respect the structure that's developing. It's very clear that Doge is grinding into an uptrend, and so this level may not come. You can't just like act like it's not there. So might as well keep longing levels that make sense on the way up, and if the level presents itself, then yeah, we'll long it. That's why I have this alert here. So if it comes, it comes. Cool. If not, then we'll just continue trading other scenarios of all-time highs coming much quicker. And I'm going to show you how that aligns to the ones we have on Bitcoin. That covers it. You see it's already starting to reject at the trend line. So we'll see if that holds. I did take a long on Bitcoin, this one right here, and I did not take a stop loss. I also didn't get my TP, unfortunately. I wasn't conservative enough in my profit target, which was right here. Sorry, not there. Yeah, I guess the 382 makes more sense. Either way, I was a bit too ambitious with my TP1, which is not the purpose of the TP1. TP1 is supposed to be a very shallow, supposed to be the profit at first resistance, right? Just to secure a winning trade. And so I got stopped out break even. I didn't make any money on it, but that's cool. At least I didn't lose, right? So that's cool. I'm gonna get into the LA wave situations because it's starting to confirm mainly bearish situations for now. Let me open this boy right here, and don't worry about all that. That left side's a mess. So once again, we've got this wave 1 confirmed right here, completed. Boop, and now we're working into wave 2. And so it's possible that it's already completed, right? And if price were to bottom right there, then we can get that upside continuation. There's really no other way for me to count it, and it does look kind of ugly. I'm gonna keep it a bean, because this is like, you can have this does look like a 5-wave move on the shorter time frames. It's just quite this C wave is starting to get quite short. It's looking a little too impulsive, but we'll see. We'll see if price starts finding support here and then it moves up and gets a meaningful bounce on the pullback here for wave 2. Then this is the one right here. And so this is why you see me taking the long on Doge, because you have to be positioned for these like really aggressive moves up as well, because this scenario is still valid. So hold on to that. The other scenario, which is the primary scenario, is this. I'm gonna zoom in for this now. Is this C wave or X wave? It's depending however you want to count it, but it's this looking for this correction to complete somewhere in this zone here. And so these are the main fib targets for where it could probably stall at. And so whether you want to count it as an ABC for 3-wave move or a WXY, also a 3-wave move, it doesn't really matter. But it just changes how the internal structures are laid out. If you want to look at it for longer, you can take a screenshot, but this is the idea. And so this is really the foundation that's funding the ideas behind the longs that I have taking, the longs that I will be taking. For example, this one right here coincides with the fib targets, and really they line up better on linear. There you go. And so that's the idea right there. There's also these deeper targets, like more worst case scenarios. This would be quite disastrous. I don't know if it'll actually come back to all-time highs after that, but we'll see what happens. You can't assume that you know where price is going, so I don't trade like I do, right? I'm always taking defensive profit targets, or I'm taking defensive profits. I'm assuming the trade is going to lose. I'm moving stop loss to break even when I get my profits in. I'm playing very carefully, and this is the only way to succeed in a market like this. People get chopped up too much. So, yeah. Make sure to use risk management. Take care of yourself. And yeah, we'll see how this concludes. Peace.